Folks, we got a beautiful day. The weather's not only beautiful, but we've got some beautiful things to talk about. These bridges that you've got, these 27 bridges that have been in disrepair forever. They didn't get in disrepair under this governor's watch. They've been there. But it was this governor's vision that's going to get them repaired. It's this governor's foresight to look down the road and see that this needed to be done, it needed to be done now, and where are we going to get the money, and he figured it out. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend, the Governor of West Virginia, Jim Justice.
Woo! I thought you were going to introduce Jimmy first. Okay. For those of you who don't know who just spoke, that's our Secretary of Transportation, that's Bird White. And Jimmy Riston's right here. And one of our great senators is right there and everything. And so, let me just say this. This is a little complicated from the standpoint of, we went through a bid process and the bids came in way, way, way over what we anticipated the bids to come in on day one. And I think they came in, if I remember correctly, at $275 million. And we really thought that they should come in at 190, is that about the 190 range, I think. So we're kind of blown away. And then immediately the press says, well, they have underestimated all throughout all of these bids, and therefore the Roads to Prosperity promises of all the things that we promised we were going to be able to do, we're not going to be able to do it. So we went back to the drawing board. Jimmy Riston, who is our Deputy Secretary of Transportation, and our Highways Commissioner, along with Bird and along with many other good people, went back to the drawing board. We didn't accept that $275 million bid, and we went back to the drawing board and we tweaked and we worked at it as diligently as we possibly could, as we have on other bids. Now, since that time, some other bids have come in, and some of them have come in right on target, some of them have come in a little bit to our favor, and some of them a little bit not so to our favor. Now we have a new bid, and we had, how many people bid with her? 5 people bid on this project of 27 bridges. There's probably people right in this area that probably thought, well, seeing as how the bid came in so high and they rejected the bid, our bridges are never going to be fixed. And we absolutely knew everything to the contrary of that, but it was still the scuttlebutt for the moment. Today, we're awarding the bid on all 27 bridges, a rehabilitation on 26 bridges. Bird, you were correct. There's 25 bridges that are going to be rehabilitated. There's one bridge that's going to be completely rebuilt, the Fulton Bridge. And so today we're awarding that bid. We had real competitive bids that came in this go-round. And this go-round, the final bid that we're awarding was $214 million. Now, we saved us in this state $61 million. And the other thing that's really neat about this is now we've gone through, with the help of these great people, over and over and over, all the projects that we promised, that were promoted, that were on the website, and every single project we can now say without any question whatsoever, they're all going to be done. And so, I couldn't be happier, and we're pouring money into our secondary roads, and we're trying to do anything and everything we can to get them up to speed, and we're buying equipment, so our people, our great highway people, will be able to do the jobs, and so at the end of the day, there's no way in the world I can be happier. Our state's moving. There's still lots and lots to do. There's still lots and lots of people to help. But at the same time, when you get announced first in everything in West Virginia of all places, you got to be dadgum proud. And so nobody's going to take that away from me. And I'd like to introduce you to the successful bidder if Mr. Swank could come here and Andrew. Okay, this is Andrew Swank, and they were the winning bidder at $214 million, and it's Swank Construction Company, and they're going to do us a great job. And he just told me, he thanked me, but he said he's going to do great, and I know he will. And Ryan, please come. You come up here with us too. This is our great senator. Of course, everybody here knows this young man, and so nevertheless, I again thank you, and I guess unless Jimmy wants to tell us maybe an update on the suspension bridge, we're working on that. We're looking to see, where we can find some monies and everything. But Jimmy, you can maybe give us a better update on that.
Yes, I can. We actually have the rehabilitation project underway and have had for some time. Of course, you know better than I do. This is a historic landmark in the background back here. It takes a little time to get through permissions with the resource agencies to be able to work on this bridge. We had an incident up here a little while back, and the bridge suffered a little damage. Had some traffic on it that wasn't supposed to be there. So we rushed out and did an inspection. We've got that inspection report back. We've evaluated it, and now we've scheduled meetings with those resource agencies so that they can let us know what we can and can't do to prevent any more damage to the bridge while we're completing the process to get through the SHPO and environmental process to get our project going. We have the plans probably about 90% done for the major rehab project, and we think that'll probably be around 2021, maybe a little sooner, depending on what the resource agencies tell us. So that's where we are there.
Again, I can't say this enough times. We're on it, and our people are on it, and we're making incredible progress in highways and everything, and things that have not been seen forever and a day. Our roads, our bridges got in this shape over decades of neglect, decades of being 50th. In all honesty, that's the problem. When you don't have any money, you can't fix anything. We were decades of dead last 50th and feeding our people just garbage. That's all there is to it. You see, I'll promise you this, you got a lot of people that are really working now, and you got great people in the legislature that are working, but you got a governor that's dead after it. And I don't want anything. I'm not a politician. I'm not seeking the next office or anything. I don't want anything. I absolutely just want one thing. I want your love, and I want to get something done. And so that's what I do. And that's what I'm after every time. And so in this situation, as soon as we get this thing going, we want to move on and get something else going. We don't want to sit and lean on our laurels. I will tell you this, you heard that wonderful goose just honk. And let me tell you this. You see, I really believe that the good Lord is in our lives all the time. All the time. Everything in our lives. Now let me just tell you something that is just as true as it can be. First of all, my dad died in June of 1993. And I was running our farm business, and I was running the land business and the timber business, and nothing to do whatsoever with the coal business, and Dad was running the coal business. And boom, he died. Well, in 1970 or 71, the Ohio River Barge Company, which was owned by Eastern Gas and Fuel, dedicated a boat in my dad's honor. They built the boat. We went to New Orleans. I said the prayer for the boat. My mom broke the bottle of champagne, and off the boat went. I saw the boat one other time in my life. And in 1994, in January 1994, Wheeling Pittsburgh Steel, I didn't know what to do when my dad died with the coal business at all, and we were in really tough shape. And Wheeling Pitt decided today we're going to buy some coal from us And it was so important, it was unbelievable. I had only seen the boat one time in my life, and I flew into the Wheeling Airport, in a charter plane because I had to get there that day. My little sport coat on, I was skinny, believe it or not, at the time, and the wind would just cut you in two, and the snow blowing sideways like crazy. Well, I scooted to a halt. I got out on the tarmac. I got in a cab, and down the hill I went. And we got to the bottom of the hill. We turned left, and when we turned left, right out in the river, it looked as close to me as these cameras with my dad's boat. Now, we got to business, and we took off and everything. But the other thing that I was telling you about the wonderful goose was not long after that, I was just floating down the James River. And again, I believe that the good Lord is here. And the definition of coincidence is an everyday occurrence in which the good Lord chooses to remain anonymous. That's how I see it. We are blessed so much in every day. We are blessed today to be able to have the money. That's probably him tooting a horn, but we're to have the money to be able to do this wonderful bridges project. But now think about this. I'm floating down the river. This happened probably, 2 months after my dad died. And I was floating down the river bass fishing, and all of a sudden a goose, of all things, came right up to the boat. And it wouldn't leave. It swam right up to our boat. Somebody maybe had been feeding it. But it just kept going around and around and around the boat. Finally, I got in our car to leave after we go, and it just flew around and around and around my vehicle. And you may think I'm making that up. I'm not making it up. And so when I just said, I'm all about just getting something done, that's what my dad would have taught me to do. And in some way, somehow, that goose honked at us. And so I appreciate the goose honking, even if it wasn't on key, but I mean it when I tell you that I love you, and I'm really proud of all the things that we're doing, and proud of these great people that are going to work on this in the back, and I love your hard hats, and I love your hard work that you put in every day. I can't thank all these people enough. You have an incredible senator from this area. You just have all kinds of good stuff going on here. It's a wonderful, beautiful town, and all I can say is God bless, and thank you so much for having me.